ZvZ because we have some early pool action here on Thunderbird, our first map of the tournament, which is exciting because it's one of the maps from the challenge section. So we'll talk a lot about these maps throughout the day and so on, etc, etc. But this map specifically comes from challenge number 1, which is where you use the mineral patches, these minerals in the middle, to change the dynamic of the map. So these minerals can be mined out by a single mine, and then it opens up this much faster push through the center. So excited to see what comes of that, perhaps, as we do see SortOf though with an early pool here, 12 pool gasless opening starting to move across the map. And just going to be seeing what they can do as the hatchery setting up on the natural expansion from Solar. He has got a gas and pool behind it, and he does know about this now, so he'll have to get ready to defend this as we have the first circlings of SortOf running up the natural and ready to party. So they're running straight into the natural here, good to start nibbling away at this hatch, so starting to deal just a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, well, Spinecrawler comes up from Solar on the high ground, so going to bring that to the low ground a little bit later on. We'll have to pull some drones in here as well to make sure he can get something done with this, as we do see those lings fight just a little bit. A couple of lings pop out, and we do see again SortOf, well, again, as his reinforcement lings come over, SortOf actually says, you know what, let's cancel the Spinecrawler, don't need it. So it feels as though he's going to be all good here. So going to be able to fight this off, and it looks as though he will actually be able to do that. 3 drones lost though. It's about the point where you want to be at, I think, as SortOf. Like, it's not brilliant. He will be a little bit behind, I think, but his hatchery is up. His queens are about to be done. He's only looking at a very small disadvantage here. The biggest issue going to be the fact that Solar has Zergling speed, and that means obviously the third base will come down a lot faster, and so on and so forth. Now, this third base is actually a very... it's kind of a very cool map, this one. When I was looking at it, it's one of the favorites out of this section, because the third base has these mineral block-offs here, so you can't actually engage into the third very easily at all. It's actually almost a very macro-focused map. But it does open some opportunities if you can mine this later. And generally, you might want to mine this later as the, player defending that base to move through to this base down here, which also has pathways blocked by a few minerals here and there. So you probably want to start one worker on those as you go. And again, those minerals in the center, they do kind of create that longer rush distance because you got to go around the sides a little bit. You got to do this a little bit of a zigzag rather than just the straight through. So that's very important to keep note of because it really does influence how this map plays out. And again, when we see these challenge maps in the TLMC, we always see the mappers coming up with really interesting ideas of how to do this and how to execute, and I really think they've killed it this time with the way that they've opened. So I love this one, and again, first map of the day. Sorry for a little bit of a rush start, guys. Again, I've been a little bit hectic trying to get players ready. I came back from a LAN event last night and had to sort some stuff out. Then this morning I had a player cancel on us, and we've been trying to figure that out, and it's just been a bit of a mess. As we do see a extractor coming down each side, lair on the way up. And, well, as the lair comes up, the Rotron drops down as well. So a little bit of a difference on each side. SortOf just going straight in towards roaches, right, and you can't take the third base just yet. So generally what you do here is you hit 44 workers, and on 44 workers, you then start to build roaches and then take a third base. You get 2 base saturation, build roaches, then move towards the third base here. So that's generally going to be the plan of action, as we have got just a few Zerglings just hanging out on that ramp. The few links from Solar, with that link speed again, he can take the third base a little bit more easily. It's already up and running for him here. And again, it's a very difficult third base to punish, really. You can't run by units unless you've gotten rid of these minerals. Again, all of these minerals are just 5 minerals, so 1 worker mine will get rid of them. Obviously, right now, you don't want to open this pathway as Solar. And it's kind of tough to open it up as SortOf, because you have to get a drone all the way here and back up, and then all the way back down and back up again, as Lings will jump on a queen, picking up an early kill. That's a little bit of a shame from SortOf. Doesn't want to be losing anything right now, as he should be able to get that hatch up, though. Tell you what, if his creep spread was out a bit sooner, he might have even been able to just go, like, Rotron, Evo, Queen wall off here, and just defend the entire high ground, and then get the third hatchery up maybe a bit faster. But it's one of those very map-specific things that is difficult for the players to maybe figure out on their, first couple times playing these maps. And that is something to keep in mind as well. There are so many maps in this map pool. It's very, very difficult for the players to necessarily have played all of them multiple times. The players have known about the maps for a couple of days now, and they've been able to definitely check them out, have a look to see what they look like, and, make some decisions. But of course, there's never going to be a perfect scenario where they're going to be able to know every little in and out like they would on a ladder map that they play 10 times a day sometimes, right? So keep that in mind, and, we do see some of the players adapt faster than others and come up with very cool plays sometimes, very quickly. SortOf is attempting a Nidus network, but his Overseer is actually just spotted, so it's very difficult for him to get the vision he needs. Those roaches are following it around, almost aware of the fact that this is going to be a Nidus, and again, just looks like SortOf can't really find an opening at the moment, so having a bit of a tough time. Now, Solar is definitely turning himself into a full-on lead here, right? A bunch of workers in the lead. His army supply is up as well. A little bit of a faster upgrade, too. Solar off of that 12 pool, and just a couple of snipes that he has. He's just been able to take the advantage and sort of couldn't really do much with his army of roaches because, well, how do you attack? You'd be attacking straight up this ramp, and again, like, I feel like if this map didn't have these little mineral patches, we would put this into, like, the macro category. It's the sort of map like King's Cove in the current map pool, or Abyssal Reef of Old, where you're encouraged to take a lot of bases very easily here. So it's definitely one of these ones which is probably going to turn out to play out a little bit longer. And as you do see this Overseer just going to go hide away to the top side. Overseer just going to be running off through the top there as the roaches and lings pull him back down. Solar just looking to max out before he makes anything happen, of course. He is going to take the low ground 4th base, so he'll be throwing this down into the low ground. Nothing too drastic or too crazy about this in the early stages. See Tunneling Claws getting started up, as well as extra Ravagers going to be morphing in. And again, just a few more Overlords currently on the way out. SortOf still gathering roaches up in the center. And we do see SortOf is sending a drone forward so you can mine out this little patch here, so you can go through the map a little bit faster. Okay, I mean, there we go. I mean, that's usage of the map, right? Sends the drone through, attacks just a little faster. I'd like it if he just wasn't so far behind anyways, because he's still in a really rough spot in terms of, the army just isn't really there for him, and backing away from this, yeah, now he's in a little bit of trouble, because he only mined one of the patches, so it's a little bit of a choke up. It actually slows up. Oh my god, what if he turned around there and fought, though? Because Solar's army has to choke up to get through. Maybe SortOf could have gotten to the concave and done something. Maybe a bit distracted by lings in the main base, which are picking off the queen, as we are going to be seeing the roaches trying to hold on, but it's not going to do a lot. He's going to send some roaches counter-attacking through the Nidus network, but when you've got an army like this on your side of the map, it's probably not looking pretty. Let's be realistic. How are you ever going to clean this up? Reinforcements are going to get picked off in all sorts, and SortOf with the early 12 pool opening, unfortunately has not been able to make this work. And this is going to be Solar having way too much and picking up game number 1 of this best of 3. Green. Boom. Okay, my bad, guys. Ay. Sorry, that's because I was trying to fix the map. Wardy's failing a bit today. Alright, so what they were just talking about very quickly here is they were just talking about the fact that this hatchery looks like it's a bit too far away over here, which it definitely is. It's like a stage, it's like 1 hex further to the right. So that's definitely something that we're going to just add to the bug list. So yeah, that's just something that's going to happen. They both agreed that they would just continue, though. If you guys are worried about what's going on here, they literally agreed that they can just keep going. So that's what will happen as we get this started up. Perfect. So sorry for the not changing the screen, guys. Obviously, when players start mentioning something about the map right away, generally want to get on that and try and fix it up ASAP for them and make sure they're okay. So apologies for that. Just a little distracted there as we got going. All right then. Let's see what happens. Obviously, SortOf in the bottom right-hand side and Solar in the upper left. The lair starting up from SortOf here down on the natural expansion. And we are just going to be seeing the link speed starting up. Evo chamber on each side, so it's just a fast lair from SortOf. He's going to go straight at roaches while Solar will play the link speed, and hence the much faster third hatchery. So let's talk a little bit about Disco Bloodbath. So this comes in from the macro category. We've got the main base, which leads down to the natural. The third base up on a high ground as well. A couple of choke-off points, so it's difficult to push into there. And a 4th base that's also very easily taken. And you can just see that's because of all the choke points here. Now, the rocks actually make this quite interesting, because as you clean out some of these rocks, the map will definitely open up a little bit. where you're going to be able to attack in here, maybe attack in there, and just make engagements, come around a little bit more easily. So that's definitely something that can happen as you see this Rotoron just building up on this natural expansion. Again, Solar looking for that faster Roach-based play here, it seems, although he can't cancel his link speed. So we were talking about the link speed before. That's not a thing now. He felt safe enough to go straight in towards Roaches of his own as well. We're just going to be seeing a Nidus network out of SortOf as he plays the 2 bases here. This map might be already, though, by the way, straight up winning the kind of the contest for the best looking map. I'm sorry you've only seen 2 maps and I'm calling this one, but there's a freaking dance floor, guys. There's a dance floor. Can we get some dance floors in the chat? Like, is that even a thing? Whoever, I don't care who actually wins the TLMC. The real winner in my heart is whoever dances the units on the dance floor. Like, if you guys dance the units on the dance floor, I mean that's gonna win the game for me. I don't care what else happens, So, yeah, setting up into this, we see Nidus Networks trying to come down. Now, Solar isn't in position to deny this Nidus, so this is the Nidus that will come up and will be able to get Queens out so you can transfuse if needed. So here we go, Queen's able to come across the map as well. Them transfusions are going to be so important. It gives sort of the extra couple of bits of health on the Roaches that are really, really needed here. The Queen will go down. Drone's going to pull away over to the right-hand side. As you do see, this hatchery will start to drop. So obviously sort of negating kind of the size and the position on the map with the help of the Nidus network here. He's going to jump right back into that base. He's going to go for a Nidus in the main base, hop up elsewhere. It's currently down by 8 workers, as we are going to be seeing sort of jumped back out of the Nidus over on this side to begin with. He's, well, I mean, still positioned on the right. He's going to start coming out on the left, but then the units are here. So I actually kind of feel like, is this where he wants to fight? Well, it looks like it might be as he jumps on forward. I'm just going to be seeing Roaches and Queens. It's not going to be enough, though. A few drones are pulling in as well. And it looks as though SortOf is not quite going to push through. Solar also has a +1 missile attack upgrade, which is finished up here. And that should be enough to hold this off. He will push this Nidus back as well. And, well, the units can pop up on the right side again, but there's nothing to do. Well, SortOf can drone. The one thing he's missing is the +1 missiles. But droning is a possibility for him. He's also going to be down roach speed, so he's definitely at disadvantages. But it's at least looks playable in terms of economy, right? As we see SortOf just going to Nidus out in the front of his base. Because he wants to push creep forwards, maybe? But I feel like creep isn't going to help SortOf that much at the moment, You guys know what I mean? This is a little bit interesting. Oh, that's actually really sick. I didn't even see this. I was wondering why this drone's just sat here. The creep tumor is actually blocking the hatchery being taken. That's such a sick play. That's actually so cute. Oh my god, that's just delayed that hatchery a little bit for Solar. Yeah, that's one of those little things that you don't see very often. That's really cute little play. Did he nice just to kill the Overlord? Yeah, I guess he did nice just to kill the Overlord. That's a pretty good point. You get the Overlord kill. I thought maybe it was for like the creep spread, but he doesn't creep at all, just Overlord kill. And is that worth a Nidus network? I don't think so, because it kind of feels like this Nidus is like right in the center. Like 50-50 to kill a 100 unit. I mean, Solar gets hugely supply blocked from it, so maybe it is worthwhile, right? Maybe it is. And I'm the one that's not so correct here. As you do see Roaches coming up, Changeling goes down. +2 missile attack gets started here from Solar, as we have +1 missiles or roach speed on the way up as well. Queens, just going to move over to the left-hand side. Subsolid 2000, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub for 6 months, appreciate it. So the Queen's is going to come over here. That's another dead Overlord from Solar, another supply block, and these supply blocks might slowly be making things happen here from SortOf. He's going to hit now with 41 drones versus 49. He's been focused on purely producing roaches. He's about to have roach speed and he'll have +1, so he'll be on equal upgrades for about a minute, a little longer. So the whole plan is just get those equal upgrades and fight right now. Don't let this game go on too much longer right here. Just going to be seeing the Queen pushing across the Overlord to the right. There's the Nidus attempt in the main base. I'm just going to be seeing Roaches and Ravagers running down to the low ground here. Nidus Worm on the way up. Back on the left side, but he's actually just going to push on the right with a bunch of Roaches. I mean, the Niduses keep going down, so he kind of needs to put the Niduses elsewhere. Just put right across the map with Roaches. He's got a few roaches in the Nidus as well. Looks like he'll wait for these, but obviously as time ticks by, Solar's extra economy is, you know, in play and bringing in more roaches out. And he's so close to +2. He's about 20 seconds away. Solar has to, well, just defend for a few moments, and he's naturally going to have an advantage. He has corrosive bars to buy time as well. And it feels as though SortOf is not quite going to be able to make this little push in work just yet. Going to see that Nidus Worm on the way up in the back of the natural expansion. So Roach is just jumping back into the Nidus, about to pop out over on the natural expansion. Oh, he's going to get the roaches out so he can take this fight behind the minerals, and that does make it a bit awkward for Solar to fight into, but it actually makes it very awkward to dodge away against those corrosive files. And now the Knight is back on the right-hand side. The Roach is running in over here, sort of playing a left-to-right sort of game, jumping all around the place. Another Knight is back over to the left-hand side. Is he just going to die for the main or the third base? Third base goes down. Remember that all of these Niduses are costing him money as well, so that does become a little bit expensive. I'm just going to be seeing Roaches and Ravages. So Solar continuing to pour out here. Solar is going to pick off that Nidus over to the side. A few Overlords continue to gather together. More Roaches coming up. There's a couple more Ravages just morphing in. Overseer hanging out overhead from SortOf. Corrosive Bile comes down. A couple of Overlords take some damage. SortOf supply blocked from losing a couple of Overlords now. And, well, again, he doesn't have that +2 attack upgrade which Solar has. And so he's really just taking fights that he can't really win in any longer. He's lost his opportunities. He's lost his possibilities. Because we are going to be seeing those Roaches picking off that Changeling. And more Roaches and the Ravagers coming out into the center of the map. Spire dropping down from SortOf. And again, the +2 missile attack from SortOf on the way up. Finally getting that going, but, well, how on earth is that going to work? As Solar's going to pull back once again to keep dealing with these Niduses. Remember, Solar is down on 2 bases, so he has actually lost the eco advantage in the last few moments. Which is kind of interesting, sort of getting some eco back on his side. It's just, is it enough eco to really do anything in this time? Probably not, as Roaches and Ravagers pressing in, a few corrosive files dropping down. Just going to see Roaches are sort of still pressing through here, and still just not enough, right, for SortOf. SortOf just has way too much. He now drops SortOf down to 2 bases, so a bit of revenge for the attack that came across the map just moments ago, and now just pushing down the ramp as well. Again, those corrosive files helping a lot. They force SortOf to reposition so frequently, and as he pushes on through, I mean, the Roaches keep on dropping. The Roach Ravager army does its job, and this is very, very well done by Solar. Good defense early, and obviously he continued through. He kept defending, he never let it slip, and from that he was able to pick up this win. A few more corrosive files dropping down. There's the GG from SortOf, and Solar picks up the second map of the series, just like that. Now, if you just give me a moment here, guys, I just want to very quickly add a little bit of text before we go into our next game, which is just going to say 2 games. Just so we can put that in the right position already, just so we don't have to worry about that a little bit later on, is the plan at least. That'll do it. Beautiful. Alright.